Welcome back. Guys, I have 3 easy stovetop dinners for you that you're gonna love. Okay, first up I have chicken and mushrooms over rice. It's an easier stovetop version of the it was like a Campbell's recipe my mom used to make, and I know most of my friends' moms have made it, so you're probably familiar with it too, with the rice and the Campbell's mushroom soup and the chicken all baked together. So I have a ton of ground meats in my freezer, and we're trying to, use things up. So I thought, let's do a stovetop version. So, and then because it wasn't all like baked together, my picky eaters had a little more control over how they were going to eat it as well. As a matter of fact, I have 2 kids that really don't like rice, and they put theirs over toast. So I am just getting the onion prepped here. And then we're going to move over to the stove. Mason wanted to help and measure the oil, so I got him out a measuring spoon. There he is, 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I just grabbed the cutting board and scraped the onion in. Gave it a quick stir, pinch of salt, and then started getting the rice prepped. I just used minute rice on this night, you guys. Super easy weeknight dinner. Got to get it done quick and on the table. And so I just followed the directions on the box, and it takes 5 minutes in the microwave. So, and I don't have a rice cooker, which is my preferred method to make rice. So I'm kind of making do for now anyway, but still, 5 minutes. I didn't have to remember to get a rice cooker out and start it early or whatever. So I do like that method for weeknights. And then I've got, so I guess I said chicken because that's what my thought was, but we actually use turkey. They're pretty interchangeable, guys. Especially in this application. You just want to get the turkey nice and brown, the onions in there, the olive oil's in there, and it goes pretty fast, especially if you've got it good and thawed. Just goes in, cooks up fast. Again, ground meat, ground beef, ground chicken. I love those for weeknights, especially stuff like this, because it just cooks fast. Dinner is on the table and kids are fed, and especially like my little ones who really need to get to bed early, like they're in the bath and in bed on time. I just love it. So I'm adding mushrooms. These are the baby bellas that I got from Trader Joe's in the bag, stirring them in. I have one kid that really, really loves mushrooms. I have 2 that don't like them. Ryan will eat them anyway. He just doesn't care for them. Mason will pick them out, and the girls are indifferent. They'll eat them if it's in the food, so win-win. Yep, gotta have that garlic. Always with the garlic. I can't think of many main dishes that I make that don't have onions and garlic in them. It's just one of those things. If you don't have garlic, you could use garlic cloves, obviously. You could use garlic powder. This is just my favorite application right now and the way I like to do it. Getting everything stirred in together. Okay, when the rice is done, you let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you take it out and you fluff it with a fork. Like I said, nice and easy. There's the salad stuff. My husband actually put that together while I finished things up. So now we throw in, cream of mushroom soup. We didn't stray too far from the classic dish. So 2 cans, because, I'm feeding a lot of people, and more than Half of them are grown or teenagers. And I mean, honestly, if Mason and Em like it, they can put it away too. Just, kids, right? Guys, it's that easy. You add the soup, you stir it, you add a little bit of heavy cream or milk or whatever. Guys, taste it for salt, but it is done. Look, salad, easy rice, dinner on top. Guys, it is so fast, and my family devoured it. They said it was so good, and they actually want me to make it more often. It's been a while since I've made it, so they were happy. And if it's easy, I'm happy. All right, next up, marry me shrimp over spaghetti squash. Okay, I love Tiffany Beaston, and this is my take on a recipe she makes for her family a lot. Those are, I promise, the spaghetti squash are perfectly fine. I actually popped those in the oven the night before we had a yo-yo dinner. And so since it was so easy, I decided to cook those ahead to make dinner on this particular night go faster. Okay, I used my second bag of the Argentinian shrimp from Trader Joe's. It made it nice. It felt kind of special. This was on a Wednesday night, so, middle of the week. Feel a little fancy, helps you kind of get through it. But guys, typically I buy shrimp when it goes on sale at my local Smith's, which is my Kroger affiliate. And that definitely makes it a less expensive dinner. And chicken, if you buy it on sale, makes it less expensive. But this felt fancy and special. I used a 1 pound bag, and as you can see, I cut it up really good so it would stretch further. Those are sun-dried tomatoes in oil. They give this a really fantastic flavor. And my kids got really excited about them. The little kids smell them. They said they smell like pizza sauce. And you only use a little tiny bit, about 1/3 of a cup. Now, one thing I should say is I have watched a couple vlogs where this has been made, and I watched Tiffany Beaston a lot. I did not look up a recipe. I just eyeballed it. I'm just pretty good in the kitchen, but I will link one of her videos below because I think she links the recipe, but the recipe and how I made it will also be in my Just the Recipe blog and linked as well. Okay, so I've got about 1/4 cup of flour here, a couple teaspoons of salt, pepper. I dredged it because in the Marry Me chicken recipes, they dredge the chicken. And so my assumption was it helped with the sauce, which, at first I wasn't sure it was helping, but I don't think I would skip this step. Even though I'll tell you, like dredged shrimp, it's not pretty. I was kind of looking at it and was like, oh, I hope it's worth it. But I think it totally was. And my sauce had amazing flavor from the seasoned flour. And I didn't really have to add any salt and pepper at the end of the dish. So, that's saying something too. I really wanted the flavors from butter and olive oil in this. So a couple tablespoons of olive oil, a couple tablespoons of butter, let them melt together before I started adding things. Okay, so I put the shrimp in, let it start working. I wanted to leave it alone for a bit and let the side it was on cook and start to brown before I started messing with it. This is the spaghetti squash. While I was working on the other stuff, my husband took out the seeds and shredded it, ran the fork through it. So we have a nice bowl of squash ready to add when our sauce is ready. Okay, when the shrimp gets nice and brown, you take it out, you add in, this is about 1 cup of chicken broth. I'm letting it work, scraping up the brown bits from the bottom. And then same amount of cream. I was measuring it out. I thought I was going to have to use some half and half, and I was so proud. I had exactly enough. But yep, you're going to throw the cream in there. See? Give it a nice stir. Guys, isn't that pretty? Love it. But for real, it goes fast. While I was starting everything, I had kids grating Parmesan. So that was done. You do add Parmesan to this meal. But yeah, you start adding stuff, the sun-dried tomatoes, the squash, the Parmesan, the shrimp, and then you're just gonna start tossing it together. Guys, you want the squash to warm up a little bit more, but it's cooked. And guys, that's it. Boom. Dinner is done. It feels fancy, it feels special, and especially if you cook your squash first, you can put it in crock pots too, but you want to be careful handling it. Like, you're talking like a 20-minute dinner on a Wednesday night. Yes, please. And again, everyone loved it. And last but not least, chicken a la king over biscuits. This is me. I'm getting the biscuits on the sheet tray, trying to make them all fit so I don't have to use 2 pans, and then popping them in the oven. Yep, used refrigerator biscuits. Guys, this cooks up in the time it takes those to cook, especially like if you have, like I have, I went ahead and chopped up the onion beforehand, so everything was out on my stove. But if you're kind of chopping as you go, maybe add 5 minutes, but seriously, it's so easy. And this recipe is a nod to my Aunt Susie. She makes the best chicken a la king, and so I was trying to copy it from memory. Yeah, see, I'm trying to use another pan. We didn't do that. There we go. Much better. Yeah, got it all on one pan. Easy peasy. Okay, 25 minutes in the oven. Let's get everything else going. I've got my chicken over there. We're gonna brown that first. Had it nice and thawed, went super fast. That is one of the key to these types of dinners. Have what you can ready to go so you're not fighting with it and you're not having to thaw meat, you know. That's where meal plans really help me out, so I know to get the meat in the fridge a night or 2 before. Okay, you're gonna start browning your chicken. You're gonna let it go. You want it pretty cooked, but you're not gonna get it like, I guess, crispy brown. So you've got all that starting. I use a ladle and spoon it out into a bowl. You see that up in the corner, you can see the bowl. And then it's not fat when it's chicken, it's mostly water, but still, you don't want that to simmer in there. Yeah. So I'm getting my butter open, not smoothly, should I add. I started off with a half a stick of butter, but I ended up throwing in the whole stick, FYI. But yeah, let that start melting and see. I moved the meat to the outside. The middle of the pan is the hottest, but it all starts working together. I've got a medium onion. I've got about a cup and a half of bell peppers there. Those were already chopped. I had some on sale that I had chopped up and froze a while ago, so I'm using those up, and this is a great recipe for them. Salt and pepper. Want a little bit of seasoning with every layer. But this is, I'm running out of pepper. I gotta refill that. This is an easy, simple recipe. So, you know, you want it seasoned well. I will have the measurements again in the blog link, but about 2 teaspoons per pound of meat, and then maybe a half a teaspoon more for the onions and peppers, just, you know. So you're going to let all that work together. You're going to let those peppers and onions cook, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so. Guys, this goes really fast. So you let those cook and saute. See, everything's melting, and yep, the butter's melting and you want it liquidy because you're going to add flour to thicken it. Butter, flour, it's like a roux. Yes, essentially you're making chicken gravy and it's incredible, I promise. I treat it like I would if I were making a roux, equal parts fat and flour. So, and you want to mix that well, and you want to let that cook for a couple of minutes before you add liquid. You got to cook that flour taste out because you want your sauce to be delicious, and you want the flavors of the pimentos and the bell peppers that kind of make it a little sweet. You don't want chicken glue, and that's what it'll taste like. So, like, be patient, give it like a good 2 minutes to cook. Okay, then you add about 3.5 cups of milk. I think closer to 4 is what I added. Stir, let it start thickening, and then you're gonna add 2 4-ounce jars of pimentos. Now, you can find them just about anywhere. They're really inexpensive unless you're allergic or like you just hate them like the devil. Don't skip this step. Chicken a la King gets its main flavor profile from the pimentos. It's a special flavor. You don't get it from anything else. The bell peppers help a little bit, but I'm telling you, don't skip pimentos. It's delicious and you're really missing out if you don't add them. But yeah, you keep stirring. See, it gets nice and thick. It comes together. Guys, that's it. Dinner is done. The biscuits actually took 2 minutes longer than the sauce. And yet you spoon it over biscuits. You can spoon over toast, rice. You could really even eat it over egg noodles or any kind of pasta you like. Guys, it is so delicious and it's colorful. Look how pretty it is. It's like a little like confetti gravy. It's delicious. And again, everyone loved it. No leftovers, which is not unusual around here. It was delicious. And that is it, you guys. 3 easy, delicious dinners. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and like this video before you go and come back. I got more delicious dinners up my sleeve. Bye.